and the gamma.
I ideally you want to go because time decay really doesn't start accelerating until about the 30-day mark, and then it starts to have that bell curve towards the expiration where it's constantly accelerating more and more and more and more. So if if you can, and if it makes sense to you, and if you have the means to be able to facilitate spreads, that's where I'm looking at my sweet spot. A little bit further than 30 days out, probably closer to 45 days out is ideal. Then you don't have to worry so much about the time decay, and especially if you're in a spread. But if you're just looking to
Yeah.
hold it overnight or a couple days, maybe you can come down to like 2 to 3 weeks. But you just got to be aware that that time decay is gonna hurt that position a little bit. And then
Yeah,
above
like
all,
what, like days probably.
right, and
Five.
above all, today the implied volatility crush is going to be huge on that thing. So like I know people are holding a ton of puts, and they'll profit. They'll print really nice, but they're going to have to really be quick to get out of those because the implied volatility goes from like 300% to like 10%, like really stinking quick on stuff like that. So it can
So
really
you're
get you.
saying like later today would be a perfect time to do a strangle on Meta if you had the funds.
Right, or not even a strangle. Just I would go with just call debit spreads. Out of the money, probably way down the road, 30 days plus at least, and run it that way. That way you minimize risk. If it does make a nice bounce, and it typically does. I mean, you've seen even the worst of the worst, like back in here January, beginning of February, we had that gap down essentially on the daily chart. And it continued to run down. It made almost a full measured move from that gap to the next low. And that was a great time to swing that dead cat bounce back up to the middle of that move. That's kind of what I'm expecting here, only this time it's going to be a little bit deeper, I think. And here's what I take on it. I look at the weekly chart, and I got to wait for these candles to open up and print today, but they're going to be below 100 bucks. So look left and look way left, and hover around. Right here's the $90 mark. We've got a big old control bar to dip all the way down. I mean, if this thing hits an extension of like 75, 76 bucks, I'll be dumbfounded, but I'm expecting a push down to about 85, 90 at least. And just kind of staying within those control bars, you can kind of see them here. And if you zoom in really close, last night we did basically enter this range, and the next control bar, I mean, it's right there, down to 85 bucks, this little guy right here. So there's plenty of range to go. I think it's got a little further to fall, and I think we'll definitely get a nice bounce out of it, but it's going to be, probably about midday before you start noticing enough of that implied volatility falling off to be able to get a reasonable position on that. But like I said, I want to make sure I catch the reversal rather than try to, ride a measured move down further. I'm going to try and go for the call debit spreads on the bounce. If I'm day trading, however, I mean, I could see, wait until the middle of the day. If I think it's going to go lower, if I think it's going to continue trending lower, go with some put debit spreads and day trade those, or even overnight those, and then run with the calls in the morning, or whatever it takes, whatever the chart's going to tell me.
I'm going to be back in just a minute. I put up a picture of that. Thing's already hit. IWM's already hit some of my pivots. I had to go
Nice.
get some more.
Gotta go get some more. Let's keep looking
Mm-hmm.
left.
That's what I'm doing.
That is how it's done, baby.
Those volume profile ledges are freaking awesome.
Oh man.
There we go. All right. And some of them line up with the VWAP. That's good too.
So yeah, we can draw a regression channel on that. That's actually a good idea.
Love me a regression channel. I'll be back in just a few minutes, y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for the warning. Sorry, I gotta be snide once in a while. See if I can draw this right. That can be into a descending megaphone. Oh, that would be cool. I like me a descending megaphone. Kind to draw it right around the middle of this mess. And you can see, damn, Gina, that's a hell of a decline. Put our center line in. Make it stand out. Cool. I love drawing on my chart, as you can tell. But anyway, we're looking at a lot of volatility today, and I think there'll be some good trading to be had today. And then who announces earnings after hours? Is it Amazon Day yet? I haven't even looked.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Why does your 1 minute meta chart look so closer than mine? Mine's like really far out, and when I try to stretch it, it doesn't get any better.
I don't know.
Oh man, somebody's buying a ton of meta right now.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people chasing that. And these descending megaphones, they love to break bullish when they do break, but I think this is going to hit right at resistance and pull back. That's my analysis on it. I think it tests $100 almost, and boom, you can already see that's going into wick mode. And then there's Snap, and my goodness, I was kicking myself for not selling credit spreads on Twitter, a couple weeks back, but oh well. Let me get my other thing open here. What else was moving? Earnings expected after hours today. Yeah, that's Amazon Day today. This will be a lot of fun. Let's have a look at Amazon. Let's start with the weekly chart. Way out. And here's one thing I was pointing out to some friends of mine last night about Amazon. We're right in range of a big bar back here from April 17th of 20. And I think we got a good chance of retracing that entire bar down to about 101, and then maybe even getting down into the extension bar next to it, down to around 96, 95 $5, somewhere in that neighborhood. Being that earnings is coming out today, I'm not sure that Amazon's got enough enough headwind in the market to get that low, but it's certainly in range of breaking into that candle range. So
What charting program are you using?
this is just the Webull app, and it's the desktop version.
Oh, okay.
But
Gotcha.
I love it. I mean, it's real time live data. You get all the indicators you want on it. Drawing on it's really nice. It does occasionally look a little different from a TOS chart for some reason, but it more or less follows. Stone and I have compared candle for candle on a 1 minute chart, and sometimes we'll see a little discrepancy, but I almost wonder if the settings are a little bit different, because I have it set to record candles as closing, and that sets up all my moving averages on closing candles, so my moving averages will be different a little bit sometimes as well. So
Have you ever used that program? I think it's called Spider. You guys mentioned it a couple times on your website. I think do you use that?
TrendSpider, absolutely. That's my go-to. So like all these lines you see me drawing on my chart, oftentimes I'll go and pop open a TrendSpider chart and kind of verify what I'm seeing, just as a good way to reflect on. And for the most part, I'm pretty able to line things up as almost as much as they do. But the weird thing is, like, if you turn on all the lines on TrendSpider and compare it to my SPY chart, theirs is even more dense, but they don't have the pivots. They just have all the angulars on there. So kind of neat to be able to go and say, hey, yeah, I'm doing what a...
Yeah, that's a good check for sure.
Exactly.
Probably
And
especially good for beginners.
yes, and that's what I was going to mention. Is like, if you feel like you've got good trend lines or you're developing that ability, you want to go and double check it against or back test it, so to speak, against someone or a program that does it for you. It's really helpful. Oof.
Yeah, I might try that out.
Look at Meta right to that center line. Damn, I'm smooth. Sorry.
Love it.
Just about to the bell, and I think we're going to have some fun today. I want to get my bare teeth out. I got a feeling Amazon's going to pull down to about $100 today. I really do. There it is.
Hey, can you?
I'm ready, Jeremy.
All right, we are ready. Let's get it. Whoops, I got to get my futures chart up. There we go. I like watching that 10-second chart on the ES so I can scalp little moves on that. And we have SPY right into a descending channel at the open, and 50% retracement takes it to about 383.75. And we'll see if we can get loose one side or the other. Probably after the first 3 or 4 1-minute candles, we should have a little direction. Here goes Meta right off that center line, man. Love it. I gotta wonder how many institutions are going to be selling into this strength. Here goes Amazon right under. Man, if that sets up a full measured move, it'll touch 100 by the end of the day.
Can I make a request for you to look at a certain
Absolutely.
stock chart?
That's why we do this.
Affirm. That's the one that I'm so fucked on that I'm always messing with now. AFRM, yeah.
I do have to say, we got to try to keep it PG in here, so sorry.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I talk like a sailor at home too, so don't feel bad.
Sure, I get it.
We're live on YouTube. I got to kind of keep a little control on that, but So let's see, what level did you end up in on this one?
The price that where I bought it at was 163.03. So that was a long time ago.
Whoa. Yeah, that's way up the chart. So selling covered calls on that's going to be fun. Because, there's no way those will be worth much at that level. Let me see here. That was quite the tip.
Yeah, so the last time I did it, I think I sold at 20.5. So I just watch it to make sure that I don't get called out.
Yeah, you can kind of run those. You can also, if worst case scenario, if you get into panic mode, like you feel like you're probably gonna get assigned, you can always go and buy the strike above it and run it that way, so that at least you'll take some profit back out of that. But getting your core position at that price, that's way up there.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find some control levels, 'cause it's looking like it's about to kind of bottom and bounce a little here, but let me set some pivots up.
Thank you.
No problem. Get in on this trend here. It's kind of cool. I added the alerts. Like I can go and hover on these little bubbles and it shows me all the little technical analysis things that pop up.
That is cool.
So it's looking a little
Thinkorswim doesn't
bullish.
have that, I don't think. Yeah, right now it is, yeah.
And let me see here. There's another control area here. There's a gap right to that little hammer there, 3150. And where is the key resistance point we're at now? There we go. So yeah, about $22. If it can break out of this and start trending here, those are the first immediate levels you can look at. So like if you're selling covered calls on this, if you can get some decent income on like a $24, $25 call at this point, a week or two out, that'd be awesome. It wouldn't be much, but every bit you make on selling covered calls will offset your cost basis a
Yeah.
little at a time.
For sure.
Whoa, Q, what's going on here? We're touching that 278 pivot. Oh,
American Airlines is ripping as usual, Jeremy.
nice. You got that call yesterday?
I did. It's only up $2 right now.
Hey, man, it's profit.
Yeah, I can't get out though with the limit orders. I'll probably only make like $1.
Well, I'll pull that up in a moment. See where we go with that. So yeah, firm on a daily, I mean, it's going to take a while to get back up to anything remotely high. But at this point, like I said, if you've got some cash in the account, you can cover another 100 shares or so with it. You can sell some cash covered puts, you know, sell like the $17 or $18 puts. I wouldn't go 18, probably $17 puts at this point for a little extra. Get into a 15-minute chart on this one. Globex low. Let me drag it down to the bottom of that control bar. All right. So we can set up range, and what's cool about knowing what our range is, if we're rolling in and out of options contracts, especially if we're selling them to open, we can use this price range the same way we would use to set up legs in a strangle one leg at a time. If we're buying a strangle, in this case we would be selling a strangle. So we'd wait for rejection off of resistance, you know, sell the covered call, and then let it ride down, and sell the covered cash covered put when it hits support, and rinse and repeat over and over and over again. And that's what the wheel trade is about. Being that your cost basis is really high on this one, there'll certainly be a little bit more risk, and you'll definitely want to avoid assignment on the covered call side at least.
Yes.
But taking assignment on the put side is not such a bad deal. Oftentimes, the premium that you take in from selling a cash covered put, you know, is going to reduce your cost basis on that strike. Like, let's say you sold later on, you sold like a $18 cash covered put, and you ended up getting assigned at $18. But let me look at the options chain to see what the price is on that real quick before I talk myself out of the box real quick, so to speak.
I have the ask is 0.05 for 18 strike, but
Let's see here. I remember they had a lot of hype during that nice push that it had a while back.
yes, and I did that.
Does anybody by chance know who Chris Barrios is?
I do not.
I know who Chris Chelios is.
Chris Barrios is the guy who runs the Wall Street Bets Facebook page. And we'll be actually talking to him next week on our YouTube channel.
Oh, cool. Tell him to run this one up, please.
Nice.
Well, the whole purpose of reaching out is if I could teach the wheel trade strategy to all the people who are still holding AMC and still holding GameStop, they wouldn't be so upset about the situation with the price coming way down from when they bought it so high, because they can generate income on that position still, just like we're talking through with the firm here. And there's a way to help them out in such a really profound way with generating that income, that eventually their cost basis will be low enough to where they don't have to worry about taking a loss on it. And if you can perpetuate the wheel trade strategy, the way I wrote it's a little bit different than the traditional way. We're swinging the short legs in and out on price action. So the thing to do first is learn price action first. Learn how to analyze a chart, know where your resistance and support pivots are, know what's likely to be in play. And then from there you go and you start day trading, swing trading strangles, learn how that works. And then after that, you go into selling options on a long position. So you're going to sell covered calls out of the money above price, and you're going to sell cash covered puts out of the money below price. The idea is to use that knowledge of price action trading between resistance and support to then go and buy back those contracts as price moves away from them. So as you sold them high, you buy them back low, rinse and repeat. And you can do this as day trading. You can do it overnight swings. You can get fancy and start doing long legs in the middle and short legs outside. You can sell covered condors. There's many ways you can tweak this strategy to produce the optimal income while reducing risk as much as possible. And that's kind of what we're looking to do here. Is we're looking to bring that strategy to the masses. And
Yeah, that's great.
Chris over there, he has 500,000 followers. So I mean, even if a few hundred of those people are able to learn the strategy and generate income from holding the bag with AMC like that or GameStop, that's going to be game changing for a lot of people. And I think that once a lot of people learn this strategy, it also brings liquidity into the options market to where it'll push those prices up on those covered calls and covered puts a little higher. And typically when that happens, you can generate income much faster. Last year I put together a video demonstrating this strategy on a penny stock. It was CEI trading at $1. And while it went down a little bit, I was able to turn that into a zero cost position with the income I generated from selling options on it within 6 weeks. And then in the 6th week, I had it as a negative cost basis position. So then
Wow, that's awesome.
when price was starting to kind of look like it was going to trend down, I sold the position for a pretty nice gain. And if you were to start out with that, if you were to have gotten into wheel trading like AMC on the way when it started to explode, you could have easily turned that into a negative cost position throughout all that hype really quickly. And then the only downside is eventually you might get assigned on a covered call on something like that. So kind of a similar comparison. I was doing this with BTU last year, and I bought it like $4.60 or something like that. And I got assigned at like $20 on a covered call, but I was wheel trading that enough to generate so much income on it. I didn't care because it was a free position. So I was like, cool, that just takes my profit for me, and I move on to the next thing. Later on, I hit it again. I was able to wheel trade it again as it was just bouncing off of a retracement move, and ran it twice, so I made even more on it. The idea is I don't need to hold that position for a long, long time, but if I was an investor, I could continue to run this strategy over and over and over again. And as long as I don't get assigned on a covered call, I still have the position. I can continue renting it out. And that's just it. It's just like owning prime real estate. You rent it out and you generate income from it. Meanwhile, you're building your equity value in it because everything you make in income offsets your equity. It's like having someone else pay the mortgage on it. So it's kind of a neat thing.
I love that.
It's like owning real
So
estate
when is
without
that
the.
talk?
So
Yeah,
we're
without the hassle.
so we're gonna announce it today on our after hours thing. We do an after hours thing on Thursdays at about 4:30 to 4:45, depending on when we get everything put together, and then we'll go. In the next week, we're going to be kind of linking up with Money.net, and it'll be Stone, myself, Creed, and Chris Barrios on the channel live to YouTube and talking about this stuff. And it's going to be kind of awesome, and I hope to open a lot of eyes with that strategy. So
Yeah, that's fantastic. Great idea. I'm excited.
I am too.
Nice, Jeremy. Well done.
I'm thrilled.
Congrats, Jeremy.
Thanks.
Hey, Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
I knew enough this morning to get out of AAL in the 1440s when the RSI was just monster. If you look
Sweet.
at the chart.
Nice work.
So I'm writing this down now. This put. Screw it. I'm not. Yesterday it went all the way down to 14.
Yeah, it's It's looking pretty volatile, man. That's a tall wick on every time frame. Well, I mean, we're going to have to let the 2 hour close, but, getting down to the 30-minute, I bet you it closes with a mean upper wick. Good deal taking profit
Yeah,
on that
the
call.
RSI was at like in the 90s for at least 5 minutes. I was like, I got to get out of this. So I got out with like $4 profit, and now I'm riding the put all the way down.
I run that FSTO, and it works very similar to RSI, but it's much more, can I say volatile? If you're using a fast stochastic, it gives you a signal real quick like, and you can see the convergence, divergence happening right there, and then boom, went bearish.
Yeah, the only reason I use RSI is because years ago it's the only indicator I learned from reading
Right.
books, and I like just memorized 70 and 30. So that's what I've been using. I'm gonna start using the Willies and the Mac and the CCI like Stone does. But for now, I just use this because it's simpler.
For a long time, I used MACD and RSI, and it just got to be kind of a hassle to have so much stuff to look at. So I just narrowed it down to something that was simple. Because
Why do you use the Bollinger Band?
so the Bollinger Band for me is a better way to teach. So like I can watch trends and I can know exactly when they're about to reverse, like right down here. When I can do it with just price action without the Bollinger Band, but like it just gives a little bit more of a visual to know what price is about to do, because you can see where you got wide volatility, and that's what the Bollinger Band represents. It's where the volatility is. So as volatility comes down, you can see there's about to be a direction change here. The bulls were getting tired, the bands get closer together, and then all of a sudden you get this 8-period crossing underneath the 20-period, and the 20-period is just the one that's generated by Bollinger Bands. It's the center band. Right at that cross, Bollinger Bands started to open up, so now there was selling pressure opening up. Boom, you ride the trend. And as long as it doesn't poke way out of that lower band, it stays within structure and stays under that 8-period, you're good. And then down here, I mean, we had a signal here where it wicked a little bit, but it was just a pullback in the trend. And then down in here, you can see where you got a nice big wick out of that lower band, and all of a sudden, you have a little opening here. So this is where you would have closed your short position, probably right in here. And then once you get that contraction again, that means this trend was getting exhausted. And either it'll take a break and continue to break over, and you'll watch which way the bands break with price and with the 8-period. So when you can spot the end of a trend a lot more efficiently with just a couple indicators, Bollinger Bands are great, because it'll give you a little bit of confidence in knowing that you can verify what you're seeing, because the volatility's fallen off. It's about to change directions. So like here through the overnight, it got really tight, and then nice and wide in the pre-market, and we went bullish right on the open. Now, I did have a range set up on this thing from yesterday's price action, and that was built on the day before. You can see I had the range pivots right there, and we've hit it. This will be the second time coming up this morning, so if it can't get through this 1440 resistance point, we'll probably see a pullback on this thing all the way back down to like 1380. Just kind of looking at the structure here. And if you were to put that on, let's see, about a 2-hour Bollinger chart. Zoom in a little bit. You can see that we had nice wide bands through this whole trend, and they're narrowing here. This is where we're likely to get a trend reversal and come back down, at least down to support. And then you can kind of verify that. Let's see here. Depending on what it prints for a daily candle too, if we get a nice inverted hammer here, then that kind of signifies that we're likely to tip over bearish.
I'm hoping that Meta comes back down under 100. It's ripping.
Yeah, it just broke out of that descending megaphone, which we know that it's likely to happen. Once you get outside the angular resistance on a descending megaphone like that, it tends to do that 50% retracement. This one actually did a little bit better. It did the fib level would have that at like a 76.3 or whatever the heck the number is.
So you're
I
saying
just
it'll go 198?
Yeah, I think it might stop here at about 101 where it wicked into, and then watch this little guy and see if it pulls back, because this is a little rising channel to boot. So, and my gosh, look at SPY tipping over, man.
I just scalped that sell off right now.
Nice work. I was busy yapping, so I didn't get a piece of it, but I got some action in the pre-market, so I'm good for the day. Got up early this morning. Went and walked around the neighborhood a little bit. And came back, started doing my charting and stuff. And
3 black crows coming.
oh yeah, baby, look at that. Now we're right down to a support pivot though, so this is our Globex low right here on SPY. So pay attention to that 381.50 area.
381.51 is a volume profile ledge.
Nice. You're coming in a little low on the volume there, Stone. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Headset on top of the head.
I was eating.
I do that all the time. I'm being funny. I'm not trying to insult you.
No, I know you're not. No, we had fun yesterday. You were doing the same thing. Different.
Yep.
But I do it more than anybody else. So. Oh my.
That is bloody. Okay, so here's our rising channel. Typical stuff. This is the price action we love to see. Typical. When it's typical, it's predictable. Rising channel. Break on the support. Expect a 50% retracement, probably to about $99. Let's see if I'm right. And I'll just draw right at about $99.
Of course, American Airlines is ignoring the SPY.
A little bit. This looks like a pennant, and it looks like a bullish pennant, but there's very, very key resistance here at that 1440. So if it can't get outside of that with some force, it can tip over.
Yeah, I did recognize that. That's why I got out. And I mean, like I said, the RSI was just monstrous.
Yeah, it's pegged. All right, Affirm almost touched $22. And I'll kind of keep that on a watch here for our friend Law here.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Hopefully we can get you recovered to the point where you generate enough income on this thing where you don't have to worry about, being a bag holder.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. It was up like 5% a few minutes ago, and now it's only up 2. I should have probably sold a call and then bought it back when it, like you were talking about. Like already,
Right.
I probably should have done that.
And that's okay. It takes a little while to build that confidence and being able to take the exact moment that it's reversing and take advantage of it. Like I said, the price action is going to be key. And you can see the trend kind of ran out of gas up here. Technically, I would have waited probably till this broke below the 8 period before I sold that covered call, just to confirm that that's a trend reversal. And you can see the little bend in the upper Bollinger Band right here where it flattened out. That was kind of a confirmation that this was going to break down right in there. And then ride it through the 20 period and just basically keep checking with momentum. Right now it's at key support because it's around its opening low. And I'll throw a line on there real quick.
Very cool.
And that's where price action is going to really make the change for you, so to speak. And then I also like to confirm trends with the 8 period breaking below the 20 period. Doesn't quite happen as efficiently on a 1-minute chart as you'd like, usually, but it tends to at least give you some swing trading ideas for option selling. And when I learn how quick I can react to an 8 period bend like that and the Bollinger Band kink here and know where all my support and resistance pivots are, and then I take that knowledge to a 10-second chart and scalp the futures, man, it's just like printing money. It becomes easy. It really does. I know it's the hardest thing to say that it's easy, but it is. Like, it'll give you all those signals. And if you're scalping on a 10-second chart, sometimes my trades only last 10 seconds.
So you're using, what do you typically use? Bollinger Bands? What else?
So Bollinger Bands, an 8-period simple moving average, and the
Okay.
20 period that comes with the Bollinger Bands. And that's pretty much it. And I do keep a 200 on there just to kind of know where I call the 200 like a moving pivot. It's always going to attract price on just about every time frame, and it'll always be a point of either resistance or support. And in this case, it's support, like on all time frames. So this big bullish move is likely to come back down. And I think it'll at least meet the 5-minute 200 period, which is right around 2070 here. And this is setting up a measured move break through that support zone to boot. And with measured moves, you get the trend, you get a consolidation point, and a continuation of the trend. And usually it's at least half the size of the previous move. And that takes us right to that 200 period. And if you get a full measured move, well, you just run the whole gamut. So you go about 22 to about 21. So you can get a whole dollar down from 21 down to 20 out of a measured move. But knowing all these patterns is one thing. Being able to react to them in a live chart
Right.
is a whole nother thing.
I have a lot of learning to do, even just knowing the patterns.
And
So,
that's why I was kind of talking about this for a long time. If you get a futures account and fund it with the minimum, I like Trade-O-Vate, and even if you don't trade the money in that account, you can paper trade with it, and you can get to know these patterns really, really well on a 10-second chart, and just practice them over and over and over again until it becomes muscle memory, until you can do it with your lizard brain. Just let your subconscious trade for you. So you get to a
Love
point
that.
you can just glance at the chart, and you automatically, in the same instant you see it, you know what it's going to do or what it's likely to do and what you want to do with it. So you can set up your trade plan at a glance.
That's what I'm trying to do.
And it takes
It takes time, but you get it. It takes
Yes.
time, but you can get it. Just
takes-
keep plugging at it, find something, and go. Sorry about that, Jeremy.
No, you're good. That's exactly what I'm saying. It takes screen time. You gotta practice this for quite a while before you can nail it that quickly.
Every day.
What about doing reversals on a 1 minute?
Oh yeah, do those too. You can do reversals on a 1 minute for sure. You can see them very readily. Like you can see here, we're starting to set up a little bit of a bearish reversal on Meta here out of that channel. And I think if we get a breakover, we'll come through this angular support one more time and start heading down again.
I hope so, because from what I'm seeing, the low today on the November 11th was $74, and it's at 121 right now for 115 strike.
Nice.
I might set a limit for $74.
Here's SPY with a pause on
Stone.
that trend.
Yo, I'm here.
Stone, that zigzag indicator that I found on TradingView is helping me out a lot right now.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. I love them. That stuff's training wheels. We talked about this a lot. And, I did the thing this morning. I was on a 5-minute chart. You saw me. I had nothing. I had one indicator on it, one moving average. That's my goal. But yeah, this stuff works really good. That video I did, by the way, on the descending channel, and watch that. That's a strategy right there. It's what we all want, a strategy.
I watched it twice already.
I used to sit there, and I still do. I watch those videos. Some of them I haven't even gone through all the way. I keep going back. Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
We just came out of a double bottom on SPY here, and I'm watching the ES
Yeah.
just hit target 2 right about. Give it 2 more 10-second candles. It'll hit it.
Still got that.
Oh.
Well, that's a 24. That's a
Rejecting target
that's a
1.
bait.
Yep. But out of that double bottom, I nailed a little trade there.
Oh, looks like that'd be an ugly end pattern on a UVXY. I use UVXY as that's the VIX, so I use that to gauge SPY sometimes.
Right. Now I got to come up with a way to say that. So like UVXY is great if you think of SPY as the canary in a coal mine for indexes, and then you go and look at UVXY for your canary to SPY, maybe we'll call UVXY the dinner bell? I don't know. I gotta
I
come up
hit
with
that
something.
low. You got to figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
It's
We'll call it names.
I'll come make up names.
That's right. We will
We're
invent
below
a name
the
for it.
15-minute channel.
I gotta get into.
Whew. I'm still
think-
trying to relax from. I had to jump the fence, man. I'll be 58 in just a few weeks, and I had to jump a dang fence.
That's rough, man.
Why are you jumping fences?
Oh, you know, the dog jumped it, and I had to go after him.
Chasing the dog. There we go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Break over.
He's a husky. He's a white Alaskan husky. He's a y'all seen pictures. He's a beautiful animal, and but he's better now because it used to be if I had to go after him, he'd run. At least this time he didn't run.
Right. This right here is a very, very hard to see on the 1 minute chart, but this is a little double bottom. You got L1, R1, L2. Here was your trade off of the 8 period cross right here to R1. That's first trade. First target is actually the top of this bar here. It hasn't quite hit it yet, and it's setting up like it wants to. But I'm going to wait for the rejection because if this remains bearish, this becomes the pause in a bearish measured move, and we start going down to like the 379 zone.
I can see that little double bottom on the 5 minute.
Oh, it's on a 5 minute too? Yeah, kind of an end pattern setup. Oh yeah, you can see the pre-market double bottom here. One, there, bam.
This is what I'm looking for. Is this bar spinner bar?
Yeah, I
And
think
if
we'll
we
get
get
it.
that full measured move,
It's
I don't
payday.
want to even try to. I don't even want to try to mess with it. I just want to try to be ready.
Yeah.
I don't want to chart it right now. I just want to get it.
I want that bearish measured move, baby.
I got. This is where my pivots come in. I'm looking at IWM. I have a 179.46 VWAP. I'm looking for it right now. It's under the 179.84 VWAP, and it's like a price ladder. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if it goes below to that 79.46. But it's actually crossing back up. It's fighting.
It's threatening. I'm
It
watching
is
that 10-second
fighting.
chart like a hawk right now.
It is fighting. It's a big bar.
Ha! It made the push. It's going to target
It
too.
did. Got that 38.34 sticking out above, but I don't trust it. There, you got the 40. There it is, 38.40.
It'll probably whip
Yeah, we're in that.
right
we're
there.
in that big red candle that I showed before, right? That's where we are
Oh yeah. In
on the
range.
MES.
And there was the reach of your half measured move, actually, right there. Well, more or less, down to 2035 on
Still got-
AFRM.
That big
2
red
minutes and
candle,
seconds.
Stone, is that the control bar you're looking for?
That was the control bar I found the other day on the MES, and actually we've been trading within it the last 2 days.
Yeah,
And I think 30.
there we go. Break over.
What was it? 38.45, I think, was the 50% of that bar.
Come on, hit that target and break. I want that breakover.
Just like we do in the ranges, Ricardo. When we do the range, like we find those little 5-minute ranges, and we say, "Wow, price is ranging." It does it on the larger control bars too, and that you go find them and say, "Oh, where are we?" This is what Jeremy has taught, and you go find that control bar, and he does a lot quicker than me, but he'll go say, "Hey, look, we're ranging. This is where we are right now. We're inside this control bar." And so it's just a matter of getting so comfortable that you can track, trade, and go back at the same time.
Right.
Gotcha.
All right, there's target one right there. I'd like to see this close a wick here and trade the breakover, but I could be wrong. I'm in no
I really
position
would
yet.
like made it a dump right now.
Yeah, same here. It's right at.
Me too.
I'll keep adjusting this line, but I think it's going to go with a pennant fail right
Yeah,
here.
it looks like Looks like a bear flag on the 5 minute though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you get
Let's
the
see.
bear flag out on the bottom, measured move, and if you look close, you can still see another just elongated double bottom out of it.
I'll
Yeah.
pull up this what I'm seeing so everybody can
Yeah.
see it.
L1, R1, L2, broke above R1, extended to target 1, which you can see right up here in the left, that control bar. And I think target 1 is going to be where it rejects and breaks over. But I'm going to wait for the breakover. I'm going to let the chart tell me what to do. I'm not going to try to fight the chart in my mind, so to speak, and try to let myself see what I want to see. No, I want to wait for the chart to talk to me. I don't want to talk to the chart.
Right. I put that little picture in there. Sometimes that's what that's my 5 minute chart. It's a lot on there. You see the 15-minute range is the white with the yellow dotted line.
Yeah.
But you'll see that we're below that 115 moving average, and we have those two big bear bars. And we got a third one, bull bar forming right now. But what I want to see is if it's tapping that 15 that I have. And that's generally what a bear flag can look like. But never mind.
Nope, that's a double bottom
I just
reversal.
look up at the MES and I went,
Yeah.
oh, never mind. We're coming back around. So looks like we might be bullish. Boy, that is a big candle on the 1 minute. That's
There
a
it went
huge
to
candle on that 1 minute.
Target 1, target 2, and we're running
Right
all
back
the way
to
to the
VWAP
extension.
on the 1 minute on IWM.
Man, we just wicked the extension almost. We got maybe one more reach to about 383.
This could be a reversal. Yeah, watch this. This is a familiar look, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, usually when we go sideways like that in the open, on a 1 minute, you go sideways a little bit, you get those little pops, those little drops.
Yep, get the pop and drop, baby.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I'll see this formation, and this is why I do my 0 days and why I journal all the pictures, and then go back and look at them, because you get like Sig says, and these things are cyclical. So if you look at SPY, for example, or the ES or any of them, you'll notice that you'll see the patterns over and over again. It may be a month before you see it, but you'll see that pattern again.
Right.
So, that's what I like about trading the large caps as opposed to penny stocks, where I learned my price action, is that the formations, penny stocks, you're looking for bull flags, basically.
Yep.
And so, but on the large caps, we have a variety of shapes and sizes and ways to trade. So a lot of times we get that sideways pattern, and then we'll get a trend day sometimes where it'll just start trending one way or the other, up or down, bearish or bullish. But sometimes you get these where it does that, and then it's hooking like it is right now. And I want to see what this hook does, because if we go past, say if we go back up past the open, and we're getting back up into that 15-minute range, sometimes what'll happen is it'll hook back up and we'll trend bullish. We've had a strange week so far, with prices moving up bullish all week long. And I was curious what was going to happen today. I had some things saying we were going to be bullish, but looking at some larger time frames. But I like to wait and follow,
right,
and then not chase but follow. So we're going to see. That's why the 5 minute for me, the 5 and the 15 and the 30 and the 2 hour are my larger time frames that I look at to find that sentiment and to see where those shapes are. And then I can get ready on my 1 minute to make those entries.
Yeah, I think looking at the 5 minute on this, we just wicked to the 20 period. And
this is wild.
That looks like a nice clean rejection, but I want to see if price will hold 382.20 as a support zone, which is about half of this previous candle.
Yeah.
If it closes a hammer there, this might end up being a bullish measured move back up to like 384. But if it breaks over here, we're going to want to see if it breaks about the mid-range of this candle here. And then we want to see a bar through the 8 period before we decide to go bearish. So you want to definitely not try to jump in the setup, but watch for the break.
Wait for it. Jumping in too quick, especially with options, is a big mistake.
Yeah,
Let's see.
and it's
What I'm trying to
threatening.
avoid on the MBS.
It's threatening that measured move. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, look at that. It's threatening to push back up, right down to 1 minute.
All right, let's see what we get.
Oh, that's a 5. Why are you a 5?
Yeah, here's the 200 period. We're off on top of that.
Guys, just really quickly, you know your moving averages. Your fast one is 5 minutes. Your slow one is 20. Yeah.
My fast is 8, and my slow is 20.
8. Thank you. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, the 8 and the 20. I was a 9, 15, 20 guy, and Jeremy, he convinced me.
I changed his ways.
Rather, he did a Vulcan mind meld on me.
8 and 20 it is.
8 and 20 is great.
Oh man, it's just neat because you can really kill it with the 8 period. Once you watch that break, it is just so simple to see it.
Well, yeah, and I didn't say it. You notice I was quiet earlier. It's because I was trading and I was getting a couple of scalps, and I was scalping the IWM because I saw that 20 cross over the 8, and then what I said yesterday, I wait a couple of candles, just 1 or 2, on a 1 minute chart, because I know that if it continues to cross and stays above when the second one forms, I can get in, and I did. I got the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th.
Nice.
Thank you, Jeremy. Listen to
Anytime.
Jeremy.
We're
He is the sensei.
inside a 10-second control bar right now, and that was the 10:05 and 10-second bar, and it nailed the bottom of that on this pullback. Now, I'm thinking
let's
if
see.
we don't close a 1 minute hammer here, this will flip over to the bear side.
Yep, could very well do that.
Wow, I was just checking. The November 18th 115 strike was selling for $98
Wow, on Meta.
Wow.
at the open. It's
Meta,
now up
what?
67, and yesterday.
Whoa, we're printing a 1 minute Busby on Meta. If this breaks,
They should have sent an executive from Coke from the 80s over to talk to Zuckerberg and remind him of what happened when they changed the formula for Coke.
right?
It was so stupid. It's like, why fix something that's not broken?
I know.
Visionaries sometimes and entrepreneurs forget, they want to keep developing things, but sometimes it's like, if you got something that really works, stick with it.
Yep. I like soft drinks that are sweetened with real sugar.
Get those Cokes from Mexico around here.
Yep. And none of that HFCL garbage.
Holy Manoli.
There we go. Measured move. Setting up.
All right. So we're getting looks like a V bottom on the 5.
Yeah, the supply zone's up there at about 38.58. So
The same option was selling yesterday for $2,200.
wow, gnarly.
I love it.
It's getting into that. It's getting into that point
Dang it, I
where
wanna be
Meta's
a
going to be a
bear,
great
Jeremy.
wheel trade, man.
I want to be a bear.
I do too, but you know
It's
what?
No fair. I'm sick of being a bull.
I
I did
scalped.
get bears on that scalps.
I scalped about 2/3 of that bar on the ES, and I'm sitting on my hands for a moment because this is freaking.
Me
Yeah,
too.
we're building. This is where you sit and
word.
wait
Yep.
for the setup.
Oh man,
Look for everything. And you miss it. Don't chase it, because
Yeah.
then as soon as you chase it, you're
oh
like,
yeah, it'll eat your
you know,
lunch.
messed
I
up.
can't
Yeah.
help but chase it.
Don't be like Quagmire when he sees a pretty girl walk by. You just get in trouble.
Well, what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix from Signs.
Oh yeah.
He said, just felt right to swing.
Yep.
It's like, no,
Oops.
got to hold off.
Oh, can we get a spinner and a giant evening starter? That'd be killer.
I've got spanked so many times and my hands slapped so many times because I was being ignorant and going off and trying to figure things out on my own. Listen to Jeremy and say, okay, he said that, but let me go try this. What? Don't reinvent the wheel. Oh, Oh, we're going back, Jack.
That's a third leg on the 10-second chart, and I think it'll flip quick here. So
All right, let's see.
be ready. We're up in that
Be bold.
384
Look.
pivot, and that's also
That's
where it wicked off the opening range high.
That is the opening range, top of the range. I have it like I got 384.18 as a volume profile.
Can we get a full retrace day, please? That'd be awesome.
I got 384.40 as the 384.40. Why does that say that? Oh yeah, I have 384.40 or 37.
Yeah, I've got an extension.
Never
pivot
mind.
up there.
384.33 is the top of the 15-minute channel.
I've got 384.45 as an extension pivot there.
All right, guys, I'm out of here.
All
Hey,
right, man.
Bud, have a great day. Hey, Bud, before you
Take
leave, remember this chart on SPY and everything, and look at it because it's a U-turn.
Yeah.
You want to keep that in your files.
For sure.
What?
And the 5-minute chart right now on SPY, the MES or ES, it's U-turning, and just wanted to show you that shape because this is what happens when price U-turns and then starts heading bullish. So we're going to see if it'll do it.
Yeah, we might get a flip here again. Hang on.
Or just keep it in mind when you come back.
Stick
The
to it.
yes.
V bottom, sort of.
Yeah, it's sort of a V bottom. I call it a U-turn too.
Full.
Boom.
Actually, beyond full range extension, but let's step out and look at this a little bit different.
Man, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 bull bars since the low. We're
What
hitting
is
that
it?
384.21. That's a pivot I have from way back when.
That's your full measured move right there. I'd like to see
It
it
just
pull back
passed
here.
pre-market high too, I think.
Yeah, well, close. We got a wick right up here, 384.50. It got close, but I think it'll smoke it.
Boom. Yeah, we're building on. It's interesting. I'm watching IWM and SPY, and they're both building on pivots of their own.
I meant to call out Meta earlier, but that angular resistance break right there, treat that just like you would a descending channel. That was the third tap. Bam, breaks right out.
What
This
else
one
do we have news-wise?
ran into becoming a
Oh,
measured move.
Got some news coming out. Got the natural gas report coming out at 10:30. I'm not sure what that'll do. Let me go look at investing.
Yeah, I got to look at UNG in a minute. I like do that
you.
now.
Yeah, that's energy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's natural gas. United States Natural Gas Fund. Just another ETF. I don't care what it's called. It has to do with natural gas.
All right, so the natural gas, they're giving us investing.com has given us 1 star for low volatility expected.
Yeah.
So they're not expecting that natural gas report to do anything to us.
No, not really.
We don't expect any volatility until you can tell where I'm from. Until anyway, we're not expecting any natural gas. Any volatility until 1 p.m. when the 7-year note auction comes out, and it's moderate volatility. So.
All right.
Man, I haven't had time to go back. I don't or watch SIG's morning briefings lately, and I love them.
It says SIG is typing. I'm anticipating.
It says SIG is typing.
It says SIG is typing. There he is.
Uh-oh. What's he signifying?
Bullish.
Something. Oh.
Tell it isn't.
Yeah.
Ah, here we go.
Waiting.
Testing that 8
Okay.
period. That's going to get exciting here. This is either going to rip or dip. And if we get inside of this control bar, it'll run it. That's 383.60 is a key support here. So let's draw a line.
That could turn back over again.
Mm-hmm.
Might just get one of those weird days where we zigzag.
Zigzag in a
Range.
range.
Trade the bottom of the range to the top of the range. Top of the range to the bottom of the range.
That's right. Back to the middle and back again.
Let's go back. None of the penny stocks I was looking at are doing squat.
No, they're pretty lame.
The TSHA had that pre-market dilution where they did an offering in the pre-market, announced it and everything. And so the last time I saw that happen in the pre-market was with you, and when stock opened, it went up. I can't remember what it was. It might have been MULN,
Might have been.
and that's been several months ago. So I was thinking, hey, it might bounce. It hasn't. Flat as a fritter.
Flat as a fritter. All right,
AGFY
we're going to get a
is
third
showing up.
leg. This is going to push that 385 pivot. No freaking way.
Yeah, and the VIX is down, and that's why I watch UVXY.
Yeah.
UVXY is right now currently on a pivot of its own down at 1041. Wow. I remember when that sucker used to move $10 a day.
Yep.
That was during the pandemic. All right, so we got a spinner.
Oh,
We'll
give us
look
a
out.
tweezer. Give us a tweezer. Come on.
He's a bear talking.
That's the bear in me. All right, so
Oh,
your
the
AFRM returned to that 2110 pivot, just about. And I think it's going to get underneath the 8 period and possibly
Oh, no, here's pushing, bro.
run that measured move, but we'll have to see.
Dang it. That's how you miss an entry.
Yeah,
Cutting up.
I'm sitting on my hands anyway with this. This is
Ah.
a little nuttier than I would like to trade on a 10-second chart. I'm going to wait for this to shake a direction.
Dying to get in right now.
Yeah, I know. Don't chase. That's how people
I'll
get
chase.
burned.
I mean, I looked at SPY and I saw that 5-minute chart and I went, oh, it's at a pivot right now on the 5-minute.
Oh, dude,
You
rising
can find
channel.
different pivots too, right? Jeremy pivots on a 5-minute. There's pivots on a 1-minute.
Yep. They change from time to time, or time frame to time frame.
And I love, if you have TOS, I love the auto support resistance indicator that I use that I got from ThinkScript, and I can put it up in the chat. It's fantastic. It really gives you the pivots. I mean, they're accurate because I've used it with the zigzag. And when zigzag's telling me it's a pivot, it's telling me it's a pivot too. And that's when I know, okay, that's cool. And it's training wheels. I use that over and over again. And then eventually I don't, you see it yourself. It's like ascending and descending channels. Jeremy sees them without drawing a line. I see without drawing a line, but I draw the line anyway.
Yeah. No, it's beneficial to draw the line anyway. But sometimes,
Yeah, absolutely.
sometimes when you're running that 10-second chart, you can't draw fast enough, man.
Hey, look, we come back above the open on SPY on that 5-minute chart, and we're above its moving average, going the Al Brooks way.
Yeah.
So
This is
it's got to get above that range, that 384.33.
I've got
That's
both
the
those
opening range.
both those ranges in here. We got that I got 384.45 and then 384.10 as the pivot points in this, and we're ranging right in it.
Yeah.
If we don't
And then
break out,
Go ahead.
this breaks the 8 period here, it'll very likely test support
Ooh.
down here on that
Let's
top
see
of that
the
control
10
candle at 3D360.
10 seconds, right back where all those, it's in that control bar. It stayed above it.
What we usually get when that happens is we get a pennant, and then it'll either break bullish or break bearish.
Yeah, IWM looks like it wants to break bullish.
So we got Bitcoin, I was going to point out, setting up a rising channel. It might break over, retrace down to about 20,600, and we'll see if it continues to get wild on us, but that was quite the run.
Sideways on the 1 minute UVX. Why? Sideways at the moment. The last 4 minutes.
I'm going to throw UVXY up.
Let me,
I'm hoping
let me
that
see
this
20 seconds on this 1 minute candle.
I'm hoping that this chat alert doesn't come through on YouTube channel. I'll have to watch the video later. If anybody's on YouTube listening, do you hear a little bicycle bell going ding over and over and over again?
I don't hear it.
Well, thank you, Bruce Wayne.
Really?
We got a guy named
Holy
Bruce
Batman.
Wayne right on our YouTube channel. How about that?
Holy Batman. Well, Robin. Bruce Wayne and William Shatner together would have been interesting.
Hiya.
This is a long. Oh, we're in the last 30
Yep.
seconds of this 5-minute candle.
UVXY.
Okay.
Testing the floor one more time at 1040.
See that?
Watch that 8 period right here.
Right here.
That's half measured move down from the top. Right here. This
And
is
we
where
are
you like
fighting
your
that
bets.
line.
Yeah. It's going to get exciting. Someone
We're
mentioned
going to
me in
get
the chat. Oh, hey.
excitement.
I don't actually. I've heard of Sierra, but I haven't used it.
Let's see. This is go look at me a 15-minute chart. Oh, 15-minute chart looks. I'm gonna do one on those two on that. There's so many videos to make.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to go through. It's just
Like when you're following price and like right now we have this, the red doji. Although we look like we're gonna pop up.
yep.
Let's see. We're going up. We're gonna stay bulls for a while.
Yahoo! That is setting up for a
You
third leg,
listen, I can't believe you're excited about being a bull though.
right? I like being a bull
Oh
sometimes.
my! Oh, bull!
That is about to get wicked.
You just gotta look for an entrance. Oh, wait a minute.
Ha! Tweezer, give me Tweezer. I can be a bear.
See
I like being a
that.
bear. And look, UVXY popped right off that floor, up above the 8
You
period.
double top. There's a name for this dadgum pattern.
Game on. Sorry, I mean,
No, you want to be a bear.
I want to be
I
a
want
bear.
to be a bear. I want to be a bear too.
Meta creeping back on up to 102, man.
Ooh, that's bearish engulfing. So this might be a.
Those 13
I don't
calls
know.
are very expensive. Well, pricey.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm thinking about selling
49
credit spreads on
cents.
that thing.
No, 9 days out. How many days out are you? 8?
Are you talking about Meta?
22
No.
days.
Oh, you're 22 days out. Yeah, well, that's why they're so expensive. Don't do it.
They're gonna be pricey.
Don't do it. Yeah, I do things without running it by Jeremy a lot of times just to go see. Now I go, would someone, do you think?
Oh, come on, I'm not a guru. I'm just
No.
a guy who reads charts.
You are. Yeah, that's right. You're a chart reading fool. It looks like we're going to push again, though. That tweezer's top ain't a tweezer top anymore.
Nice break over on Meta, that rising channel. I didn't mark it, but I see it. It's right there. Bam. 50%
let me go
retracement.
back.
Here we come. 101.50.
I could do nanos. Just
Easy
for fun.
peasy. Yeah, those nano bitcoins are fun.
386. No, the nanos options.
Oh, yeah. That's
Just-
right.
You just go long when you just go long or short, and you just let it ride if you see the sentiment going a certain way.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a great way to practice longs
Yes,
without
sir.
killing yourself.
Yeah, without
Oh, never mind.
Without having
We still
your
got
lunch.
an inverted hammer there.
your lunch pre-digested for you. Yeah, eaten.
Oh, wait a minute. That's why. Okay. Inverted. What do you hear?
Man, is this thing gonna break over or what?
I don't know. What are they waiting for? What is there? Ain't anything? There's nothing going on today, right? Other until
Well,
later
we got
on.
Amazon
Oh,
earnings
we still
after
got-
hours.
We still got after hours Amazon earnings. We still got that oil thing, but natural gas report. But
Stone, I think you have an admirer on the chat there for your Batman impersonation.
got to go back and look at the chat.
Oh, was it in the? Let me see. What chat was that
In
in?
the Discord chat and features, chat options.
Oh,
That's funny. No, Stig. I don't use Sierra for charting.
Nice. That was a good Shatner impersonation. All right, SPY.
Let me.
Give us a sign. I think this pennant breaks bearish, but I'm not sure yet, so I'm going to wait. That is a sign of exhaustion here where they can't quite get it higher. I could eat my words. It can set up a third leg, but third legs are pretty rare. But if it does set up a
Sig's
third leg,
listening.
we
Should
could
I
probably see
imitate
about
Sig while he's listening?
385.50. Yeah.
Sig, this is you in the mornings. I like free. You like free too. I know you do. Not as good as the Shatner one.
No, that's pretty good though. We should just start doing impressions all day. That'd be our thing.
It makes me crack up sometimes.
I agree.
I am doing an impression. I'm impersonating a trader right now who's waiting for something to happen.
Well, we
Look at that. We are sideways, Jack.
like Yogi and Boo Boo. Hey, Boo Boo. I see a picnic basket at the top of the trend.
But Yogi, we got to watch out for Ranger Powell.
Yeah. That never gets old.
Ranger Powell. Yeah, I love it. Let him
Actually,
speak.
those puts and calls for Ford are not that pricey anymore that I see expiring on November 4th.
This is when we go sideways like this, this is when I use Milo, there's a pop. My little strength indicators at the bottom that tell me, my CCI a lot, tells me like if we're going to get a pop when we go sideways. If it's flat, then it's flat. But if it's building in strength, I know we're getting ready to pop. It wasn't doing that, and then it popped up while I was looking at it. Okay, so that's a pop above the 384.45 for SPY into 384.89 as a wick.
Do you have any more levels for SPY there? Because I only have 386.08 is my next level.
Oh, I have lots of levels. Right now I have the Globex high as 384.85. And remember, we draw these lines with a fine point on the chart, but really you got to think of it as being a fat marks a lot or a fat highlighter because it's not perfect. It can be a little fuzzy.
Hey,
So it might not be exactly 384.85 for some.
UVXY is starting to look exhausted on that bearish trend. I think we might start to trend on the other way. A little rounding bottom here. Not quite. You got the little double bottom here. That's already happened, but now we're starting to edge up. Watch this.
Stone, I might have to call you the level man.
The level.
Man. I got VWAP Bender from Jeremy.
VWAP bet. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. I got that picture.
Heck yeah.
Look at that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have a chart nasty. I have a lot of levels, but wow, we pushed up. So that 384.85. I mean, I've got breaking up above this. Now don't take this as law or anything, but I got a 387.75 that I'm curious about because that's one of those volume ledges I did this morning, and we crossed the other one at 384.18. So, yeah, and then I got a market maker high at 388.04. Again, don't go jumping in because we say something. I'm just giving you what I'm seeing. Because if you jump in at the wrong time, the K will kill you on an option.
This is the first day that I'm actually green, so I'm gonna try to maintain that for the rest of the day.
Don't do anything else then. Just if it's the first day, then just walk away and do a George Costanza and say, I'm out of here.
Here we go. Come on, break over. 8 period crossing
This
into the
is not
20 on the 10
financial
second
advice.
chart. And we got a little bar threatening that 8 period here on the 1 minute chart for SPY.
Yeah, and UVXY is above its moving averages now.
Go, go, Gadget Bears!
So this could be a big, big, big bull trap.
Oh,
trying to make it look like a cup and handle on the one.
that's starting to pinch too. Let me see what we got on a 15-minute chart here. Aha. That's where the magic is. Let's look at yesterday's price action. Whoops. Can this be the leading edge of another diamond pattern? I hope so. I love diamonds.
Ooh, you do love diamonds. Wolves and diamonds,
And this is the
you
following
move
side.
fast on that little Webull app you use.
I do.
That blows my mind.
So we had that diamond top already. God, my chart's gonna look so nasty.
Man, this is sideways. Somebody go talk to somebody. Oh, look, get a red candle on the one on UVXY.
This is
Big red one.
I know what this is. I know what this is. Oh man, I wish I could like turn off half my drawings. That doesn't work. There we go. There's the top of our range. Angular resistance has been discovered right here. Now we can break and sweep the range. That would be killer, but always be aware of that center line. I'm just going to draw it from back here because it's pretty evident. Make that thing stand out. And run it to the base. There we go. Breakover, threatening that 8 period on the 5-minute chart soon. We got the 8 period threatening to cross under the 20 period here on a 1-minute chart. This pennant broke and failed. We ran right back down. Right here is where we expect to pause. Right on top of that control panel, or control candle panel. Right about 3,360. And if we get inside this bar, we'll likely finish that move. At least
That's
down
wrong
to
that it
200.
did that while I was away.
It couldn't wait for you, man.
I know. I the coffee got to me.
Ah, yes. I'm still sitting
Alright,
pretty. I
so-
haven't tapped it yet.
I'm not doing anything right now. I'm waiting. I can wait. This is why I like the 1 minute. See the 20 cross the 8.
I finally went short at 38.68.
This is the longest I've ever waited.
I went short at 38.68 on the
That crossed
on
the
ES.
8. We're going down.
Yep, we're inside that bar now. Here we go. We'll at least hit half that bar. 383. And then
I like the bear flag looking thing on the 10-second chart on the ES.
all right.
I caught some of that. Yes.
Let me
Very
see
good.
Let me see if Bruce Wayne's got any more comments out here for us on our YouTube channel. There we go. There he gave us a smiley face. Mr. Wayne. You know, it's funny. Sometimes I'll use that name when I go to order a pizza. And other times I'll switch to Batman. And then, I'll show up. I forgot my cape and cowl today. Sorry.
Use Bond, James Bond.
Bond works too.
That's a good one.
My wife and I love to mess with people at Starbucks, though. She'll do like the online order and she'll put the name
Fake
in.
out. That might be a fake out.
She'll use funny names like Mike Oxlong or
Yeah.
a lot of Austin Powers names. A lot of Fachina.
Those are hilarious.
It always gets a kick.
That's funny.
Sometimes we'll run into somebody with no sense of humor and they just won't get it. Other times we will be like having the whole store laughing. It's awesome.
Guys, can
Yeah.
I ask a question?
Sure.
Right, I've just set up today, so I'm using a simple moving average, Bollinger Bands, and RSI. So it's like, I'm not saying it's a great strategy, but can I just trade when the RSI is between, like, you buy at 30 and then you sell at 70 and you just watch the RSI go up and down all day? Can you trade like that?
You can. I don't like to trade on RSI signals alone. I like to verify what I'm seeing with price action, but it's a good way to.
I'm still using like my pivots, my simple moving average, and obviously watching candlestick patterns as well. So what I'm saying is if the RSI is low, like 30, you buy it, and then if the RSI is 70 and the other stuff looks good as well, like the patterns, and it's below the SMA and everything, then you buy in, and then you trade it, and forget about the reversals. Just trade it when the RSI goes above 70. Can you sort of do it like that? Yeah.
You certainly can, and I've noticed that FSTO is even faster, so it gives you a signal just a little bit ahead of RSI.
What's FSTO?
It's a fast stochastic, and you can actually put both of them on your chart at the same time, and you can kind of test them against each other, and you'll notice that.
I think what I'm doing today is I'm just learning how these studies work, like learning how the RSI works, and
right.
I was just asking just to see if, like, yeah, obviously you're not just going to trade on one thing, but you don't need like millions of studies, do you? Here I've got Bollinger Bands, simple moving average, and RSI, and I'm looking at the patterns, but you don't need loads. You just need like 2 or 3, really, don't you, to all coincide and say, yeah, it looks like it's going bullish now. This is a reversal pattern, and you can just do it with the simple studies, really, can't you?
You can. You keep it as minimal as possible. Yeah. And in fact, I prefer to keep it as minimal as possible.
All that talking, and I'm looking for the word minimal. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you.
Sorry.
That's great.
Nice break. So, like, I'm comparing FSTO to RSI here. You can see the signal line is very similar.
You've got 2 lines there for FSTO. What are they?
Well, I just for a second, I threw RSI on there with FSTO just to show you.
Right, I got you. Sorry. Yeah, I can see it now.
So you can see where you get a little bit of a buy signal here, and it wasn't verified on RSI right here. Just comparing at the was that 952 1-minute chart, and ordinarily you would see that little bounce off the low and go and buy that. Nothing wrong with that. You just got a little bit too soon. But if this was to tip over and RSI was to stay pegged, and this were to continue into a bearish measured move and hit that next pivot at 378, you'd be burned if you bought there. So I always like to verify. So RSI can stay in one place for quite a bit of time, and like you can see, it was pegged to the bottom here for a little while before it finally bounced out for a buy signal.
You said that, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Look even further left, like into yesterday's close. You had really garbage signal here, right? But look at yesterday's open. I mean, it stayed kind of pegged low for a while. Didn't really give you a valid signal there. Just kind of stayed in the middle. And of course,
if you're trading penny stocks and it stays low towards the close and you can't get out of it, you're going to be stuck in that penny stock trade overnight, and that's trouble.
Right. That's the thing.
That's why I don't hold them overnight.
By
the way, MULN is moving.
But like you can see, there was a little buy signal right here at about 10 o'clock yesterday for this bar here. But it wasn't very clear because look where it lies, right at about 41.67. I'll zoom in a little further. But you had an actual signal right on FSTO just before that bar. Do you see it? You see the convergence right here and the divergence. It gave you a few seconds to get long on that bar. And just before that candle opened, you saw that convergence here. That was your signal.
So basically then, when you're looking at price action, it's the candlesticks first and foremost, the patterns in the candlesticks you're looking at. Stuff like RSI, simple moving average, Bollinger Bands, pivot points. It's candlesticks first, pivot points second, and then the studies that sort of like reinforce what you kind of already think.
Right.
Am I right in thinking that's how you deploy it, yeah?
Yes. And that's essentially it. You want to verify the signal for the price action, and then the price action is what you're trading.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Got you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That's it. Candlesticks first and foremost, then your pivots work, and then your moving averages.
Exactly.
And and then your lower studies, like your RSIs and your fast stochastics and all that.
All right. Okay.
Exactly.
So there is a sort of hierarchy of what's the word I'm looking for? Indicators, really. Then, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought I had that outlined somewhere, and I don't actually.
You may
I
well have done. You may
I
well
will
have
make
done.
sure that I will make sure it's outlined though. But yeah, that's the best way to look at it. Would you agree, Jeremy?
Absolutely.
Okay,
That's,
thanks, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
and like I would say the absolute most important indicator I have on my charts is going to be that 8 period. That, when I verify candle patterns and I see the 8 period, that's what I'm looking at. Is I'm looking for that validation. Like right here, when price broke after that bearish engulfing bar, right under the 8 period, short right there. But do I have any signals down below? Not really. I have divergence here in the bearish side on FSTO, but it's kind of weak.
And you've just got moving average 2 lines for that 8 period, haven't you? One at 8 minutes, one at 20.
Right. And it's when you say moving average, you got to remember it's a moving average of the candle count. So an 8 period is looking back 8 candles on any time frame. So it's looking back 8 1-minute candles for the average. And the 20 is looking back 20. So any time frame where you see that, you always look a little bit further out first, and you'll find where you can verify it. So right here at 1040, broke the 8 period. All right. Get closer. 1036 was the 3-minute verification break of the 8 period. Get even closer, 1 minute. That narrowed it down to 1035. So you had a whole 5-minute candle in there worth of time to give you the look back to get to the 1-minute chart and say, hey, there's the break, I'm going short.
So as you move back in time, as you move left, look left, you're obviously going back, and the moving average is adjusting to the period that you're looking at, yeah?
Right. Yeah, it's always going to change from time frame to time frame.
And Bollinger Bands are the best as far as that goes.
Right, because a Bollinger Band,
they work on every time frame.
Yes, and it's essentially this. A Bollinger Band is really, the upper band is 2 deviations above the 20 period, and the lower band is 2 deviations below the 20 period. And when you see them get closer together, it means the volatility is down. You see them start to spread apart, volatility is up. So whenever you see a potential reversal and you see it pinched right here, it got tight. Mainly it was telling us that this bullish trend was getting exhausted, the volatility was down. And then all of a sudden, they started to open up a little bit right into that reversal. And we had a clear signal that we can verify this is going to set up a bearish trend here. And we just popped out of a 10-second double bottom. We nailed target 1 after the break above R1. And I think we can extend to about, well, that's already done by the time I set it 38.53 with a wick.
Saw that. I'm curious to see if it pushes up right now.
You got to think so much faster than you can talk sometimes when you're trading that 10-second chart.
Yeah, you do. For me, I have to think faster when I talk if I'm trading the 5-minute chart.
And I had the hardest time when I would live stream 10-second chart trades, trying to draw it out, show people what to look for and all that stuff while I was trading, and it was just nuts. Couldn't do it. But if I didn't talk about it and I just sort of did it in front of everybody, I could do that. So it's kind of weird because I can't speak fast enough for the action I take on a 10-second chart. It's just impossible. But if you get into price action, you want to start learning those patterns, you want to start being able to get a jump on your screen time, so to speak. It's going to condense your screen time. So you can spend hours looking at a 1-minute chart picking these patterns out and trading, whereas on a 10-second chart, you can see it in minutes and recognize the pattern, have a trade plan, trade the pattern, rinse, repeat. And essentially, you're practicing the same kick over and over and over and over and over again. And you'll get to that guy where you're the one who practiced the same kick 1,000 times and you master it. and then you go and learn the next kick. It is such a rush to be able to do that on a 10-second chart. Once you've crossed that threshold, you've had enough screen time where you can just nail these patterns over and over and over again without even thinking about it.
Takes a while to get there now.
And then when you go and you apply that to what you're seeing on longer term charts, it all is the same pattern on any time frame. And all you got to do is recognize it and trade it. It's really the easiest thing to say, the hardest thing to do. So
Okay. Looks like we're pushing again. See how far we go.
I think
I had a signal.
big old inverted hammer here.
I had a signal earlier.
I went short at 38.52 right when I said that. Bam, nailed it. 38.52 short, bought back at 38.49. Little 3-pointers, man. I love them.
That's $15 on one contract. That's good. I mean, the MES is great. It's just very, if you're gonna put a stop loss for that, you're gonna $5 stop loss. But
yeah,
I'm still working with them. I'm paper trading. I'm not trading them all the time.
I can run the MES for a while.
I am working on my execution to do all three, to do two or three at once. That one, and SPY, or QQQ or IWM.
So Stone, I created that server channel for myself. That server.
Oh, yeah.
And I just put in my first entry of bad trade.
Good for you.
So
That's a journal.
I'm journaling that. Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good. It really helps, especially if you're like, you're a person that organization can be difficult. It's just taking a picture, put it in there with one or two lines, one sentence. Don't ever do this again.
Yeah. I put it in big captions right now because I gave all my my profits back right now in one trade, and I gotta stop doing that.
I've got some that say, "Don't ever trade this again."
That's hilarious.
Well, it works, and it's the visualization. It's learning the patterns. It's learning the patterns. It's learning the
Whoops.
patterns.
Just goofed on that one. I forgot to change this one to MES. I'll close it in a moment.
Yeah, we are looking kind of odd.
Do y'all know if there's a way to see the 10-second charts on Thinkorswim? Because there's not.
No, they don't have 10-second
Okay.
charts.
We're setting up a
Tradeovate does it for the
Okay.
futures. Yeah, it's one of those things they don't have. Hopefully, they'll start getting them.
I
Yeah,
forgot
thank you.
Webull
Also, I'll
doesn't give
get-
you. Go ahead.
So I'll get Tradeovate or probably that spider thing. I'll probably get the spider thing regardless.
TrendSpider. Yeah, we've got a link for a
Yes,
discount
yeah, I can't think of the name yet.
on TrendSpider right on our
Get a
webpage.
discount?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I'll see if I can pull it out for you in a moment.
All right,
Thanks.
so we got the 8 crossing above, or the 20 crossing back below. Well, I'm looking at IWM, and it's already crossed. And I had a long signal back at 10:45. Same signal I taught in that video the other day. It had a descending channel.
Dang, I got too
Come
slow.
down. We hit a pivot, and I looked and I said, well, it looks like it's going to go bullish. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 minutes.
I was too slow on that breakout. Dang it. I saw that coming.
Dang it.
I was trying to short that little loop there, and I realized, oh crap, I had the ES open on my DOM and the MES over here on a chart, and it was not jiving well.
A morning star forming on the 5-minute.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. We're running back to this pivot line, and that's right in the top of that control candle again. And I kind of figured it would go and make a 50% of that bar, and it did. Right to the 200.
You know what, Jeremy? I'm going to wait and watch here. I'm looking at IWM. Let me go look at SPY. I'm seeing something now.
Yeah, I'm
Well, no, I see it different on SPY than I do on IWM.
watching Meta come down into a descending channel here. I hate that I can't lock this on top. I'll figure out how to do that later. But every time I go to click
No.
on my Webull chart, my ES chart disappears. But here is a descending channel on Meta. And let me draw this out. This is a regression channel right in front of everybody.
We're in a wedge.
And don't forget the center line.
On Webull, I can't see futures. Any idea why?
If
Yeah, they don't do futures. You
Yeah,
have
Webull
to.
doesn't
They
do
won't do
futures,
futures. But what you can do is you can go watch the index, the S&P,
yes,
or you can watch the indexes, and they move. They move like the futures. Futures move like them. They are the futures.
yeah, you can pull SPX up, and you can actually trade options on the SPX too. And once I
am seeing it.
I'm getting my. Well, I've got my account. This is my wife's account. I'm logged into on Webull here for data sharing, and then I have my account. And at some point, I'm going to switch one of them to a margin account so I can run 0-day
There's your break.
0-day spreads on SPX. So I can sell credit spreads and run 0 days on that.
Yep.
And that's cool because you can't get a sign on the SPX. It's an index. It's not any actual equity. You're just trading the derivatives on it.
Yeah, the other day on Webull and Robinhood, I got they gave me level 3.
Nice. Good work.
Good for you.
Yeah, you're going to love level 3 on Robinhood because
Level
commission
3
free
Robinhood's great.
and debit spreads. Oh, payday. All right, I think we're going to
Yeah,
break.
just got to be careful
Oh, no.
not to do too many day trades.
Yeah.
No, I'm waiting for Germany
Dang
to
it.
teach us before I start doing anything.
I missed it. I missed my short. That was a pop and drop bear flag like no other, and I missed it. Well, I'll ride that for a minute.
Well, what I'm seeing on IWM, and I wasn't seeing it on SPY so much, but I saw where we hit that high at, it doesn't say high, but we hit a high at 932.
Right.
And then at 10:33, about an hour later, it's not quite as high. And I thought, we might be getting that pattern where eventually we do roll back down to the bear side.
Right.
Because when you get that high and then the next one's lower, the third one's lower, it breaks down usually.
So, the demo account to trade options. As long as you're in the U.S., Webull is great for day trading options. I use a cash account in Webull to day trade options all the time. I use Robinhood to do my spreads and stuff. So I'm running, debit spreads, credit spreads, stuff like that. I'm running a wheel trade in my Robinhood account just because it's commission free and I can sell to open with level 3 options trading. So run it. As far as a good demo account, you can day trade in a demo on Webull with options as well, but you have to have either paid for or fund your account to a certain amount to qualify for the real-time options data. Otherwise, it's delayed by 15 minutes, and that'll make it hard to day trade. So that's one. And then the other thing is, like, you open yourself up a Tradovate account with like a couple $100, and then just right now I think they have it's like $12 a month for data on that or something like that. Every once in a while, scalp a couple trades on the MES to pay for your data, But you can day trade or you can paper trade on Tradovate, and it looks and operates exactly the same as live trading, which is cool because you get live data. You can run in and out of your contracts right on the screen, just like you would with a live account. So it definitely is very helpful to learn your day trading and learn how to trade your price action on a demo account with Tradovate futures, just to get a feel for repeating that process of learning these patterns and instinctively trading them over and over and over again. See, and TradingView has a 10-second chart available. I think there's a data fee for TradingView too, but we're working out a deal with TradingView or trying to work out a deal with TradingView. We've got a deal with TradeStation. And TradeStation, as you may know, is one of the first brokerages to integrate with TradingView. We're getting into talks with them and seeing if we can get a free or fairly cheap data subscription through them and give that to our members. So that'd be awesome. That short was not the perfect entry, but man, I saw it coming. Nice run. We're looking for a breakdown to about the 382 pivot here, maybe. If we break that 382, though, it's a full measured move time right to the base.
That's where we closed.
Yeah.
Which was, whose favorite number is that?
Mine.
Who always calls 382? Who is that? Always calls 382.
I think 382 likes us more than we like it.
I think it likes us too. I think you're right.
That 382,
I saw that break coming, and I grabbed it, and this is, I grabbed it quicker than I could say it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I caught it. Got a 10 spot on it. So
nice bear flag break. I traded, and I'm taking distribution on my futures account again this week. But I for a short term, I sweated a lot. For a very, very, very short time, I traded a 10 lot on the ES. It's like, whoa, click. And that was the quickest, sweatiest trade I ever made. But that was my first time ever. And that was like maxing out my account for as far as how many contracts I could be in at the same time. Don't recommend that. But I had to try it. And it went well. And it made me sweat. So I'm back to trading 1 or 2 ES contracts at a time. Just sensibly, but now I'm demonstrating I'll run the MES because I want to make sure that I'm able to be comfortable and relaxed while I trade it and not have to be so focused in on it so I can teach while I'm trading. And I'm going to close this position right here. Nice little runner.
Gabriel,
sold short.
Sig answered you.
Sold short at 38.51, bought it back at 38.42. Nice little 9-pointer. If that were an ES contract, that'd have been $410 right there.
That is another.
So nonetheless, I'm sorry.
This is choppy.
Not trying to ignore the chat. I'm trying to get with it, but yeah, this is choppy. But this is tradable on the 10-second, baby. And that's what I saw.
This is choppy. This is too choppy right now for me to do any directional options trading, single contracts.
Right.
Just buying to open, calls and puts. This is too choppy. This is where Stone stays out of it and sits on my hands. However, I am fooling around with the MES.
I'm going to take a very short-term trade here. Back down, keep going.
The MES is fast, and getting used to the charts and the time signatures.
Keep going. Oh.
Yeah, Sig's right. It's always difficult for folks outside the U.S. to get something good.
Not even 20 seconds in that trade, man. $10.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, same.
But like you start to see this and you start to recognize your candle patterns and like, here, I knew exactly where to get out of that trade. Right there. Bam.
This
across the 8
period.
This
is look at this. Well, I'm looking at IWM, and it's giving me one of those patterns where let me just put it up there for you to see.
And this one I got late in the party here on that wick, that inverted hammer, but went short. Bam, right through the 8 period. As soon as it tapped that 20 period, I hit the order. And I wasn't fast enough on that 10-second candle to get at the bottom of it, but I got damn close.
You see the pattern?
That's how fast I trade that thing. I
just sent, it's on IWM. I put it up in chat. I know you got your eyes looking elsewhere. It looks like an N pattern there in the 10-second. It just looks. This is one of those patterns where it seems to like compress and then it.
Right. It looks like a rounding top, like it's going to be a bearish break, but then it hits that support and bounces. I've often seen that turn into a measured move if you look further out.
Almost looks like a wedge.
Oy. And I'm trying not to avoid the chat here. I'm trying to read it. I'm trying to catch up.
To trade too. I know. I get it.
It's nuts.
When you moderate, it's hard to do both sometimes.
Yeah. And it's 11 o'clock.
You take your eyes off quick enough to go look at something on the chat and you go, I missed my entry.
Yeah,
That's what I usually warn.
I agree with you there, Sig. I mean, I think that TrendSpider is a great tool for beginners to learn how to verify all the lines on their chart. But like once you get to a point, I almost wonder if you still need it once you've gotten to the level where you can just glance at a chart and without even drawing the lines, you know they're there. You can just see them. You can use your
I
imagination.
got it in POS.
And yeah, I mean, for the money, it's usable. It's great for beginners. It's great to verify. I'm an affiliate, so I get a free account. But like, you know, I don't know that I would pay for it. But it's great to have it to verify my trend lines. It's hard to say.
Trading everything on Webull.
Yeah,
Blows my mind. Blows my mind.
and it's like I hate to say it, but I think that, you know, you go out and you pay for a bunch of these services and you just find out that it's like just putting more and more compounding information on something that your purpose would be to learn all that information, know how it works, and then go into being simple, just trading simple price action. So like as you progress as a trader, you end up being able to trade with less and less and less information on your chart, and you'll come to a point when you find you don't need any of those services. So I get it. It's very, very useful for a beginner. But once you've, and this is just if you're a price action trader, whether you're day trading, swing trading, whatever you're doing, all that information is great. But once you get to the point where you start to be able to just glance at the chart and know what you're seeing, you don't need it anymore. However, there is a platform that we're partnering with Money.net. They've got data like you wouldn't believe, and it's all the fundamental stuff, all the technical stuff, all in one place. That one I can definitely recommend because a lot of times, whether you're a day trader or a swing trader or an options seller or whatever, having resources to get the fundamental analysis in a glance on one platform is awesome. If you're a long-term investor or you're running a wheel trade on something long, you want to know that the company you're holding a position in is going to make money and do well. You know, you don't want to go and buy junk and try to wheel trade it unless you're just looking to scalp it, like I did with you know, the little dollar oil stock. But it was like more for demonstration for me, and it was more or less a long-term scalp for me. I was just using that volatility to generate income, created a negative cost position, and just to prove it done. Boom! It was more of a I did it for demonstration. If someone was to do it with me, it would be for practice. And then when you're going into something like Meta or, you know, Google or whatever, and you go to wheel trade that's where the game changes. You want to know what the fundamentals are on those companies. You want to know what their balance sheet's looking like, what their earnings expectations are. You want to know when to be in the trade and out of the trade. You want to know when to be long for a long period of time and wheel trade it and stuff like that. So having access to fundamental data, as much of a day trader and price action trader as I am, I say it is necessary if you're going to start running stuff like that, because the chart will tell you everything you need to know, but having a little background in the company and knowing a little bit about the fundamentals will really help you in the long run to be able to maintain the position that you need to maintain in that investment. And not everybody's a day trader or swing trader. A lot of people are buy and hold investors. And if you take the time to develop these skills of being a day trader and swing trader, it will increase your, when you get it right, it'll increase your portfolio performance, and in the long run you can generate a lot of income on your portfolio just knowing these strategies, instead of just buying something and holding it and expecting, you know, a 10% portfolio boost every year. You can get 10% a day. I mean, it's really that easy once you get the hang of it. So
once you get the hang of it.
Long story short, there are services out there that are worth paying for, and then there's some that are geared more towards the average beginner type, you know, day trader, swing trader, whatever, your retail trader, and use them until you don't need them anymore. But but you got to know when you don't need them anymore. And I know Stone had some subscriptions to several different services, and after a while, he got the hang of what the information was telling him, and he was able to learn how to generate that information on his own, and he didn't need it anymore.
No.
Same example.
There was no need, especially for penny stocks. Especially for penny stocks. Forget fundamentals on penny stocks.
Yeah, forget
Don't
'em.
even think about fundamentals on penny stocks. It's ridiculous.
Yep, the chart is king. That's all you need is a chart for penny stocks, and I can't count how many penny stocks we've scalped over the years here, moderating right in front of everybody, and just being able to glance at the chart, look left, put the pivot lines down, trade between the pivots, scalp the living crap out of a penny stock, and then watch it tank the next week. It's just like, been there, done that. What's next? We didn't lose, and that's the difference between buy and hold investor retail types who go and invest in a penny stock and buy into the hype, and they buy what they're sold, and the fundamentals are always bad for penny stocks. There's a reason that they're a penny stock. There are a few where they're close to IPO date and they're building an investment and growing as a company.
My.
And the chart will tell you that too. I'm sure like things like Neo and a couple others that made some big price moves. We're worth investing in, and eventually wheel trading and all that stuff. But nonetheless, a penny stock is not really suited for an investor type. It's more of a day trader type. And if you're a day trader, you can scalp a penny stock. You're learning a skill. You're learning a useful skill, because when you come to a point where you suddenly have some serious money in the game, you'll know how to manage it, and you'll be able to know when to get long, when to get short, when to sell options, when to buy options, and everything just makes sense to you. And then you can adapt with any market condition. And you look at, let me turn SPY lights off and go to a daily chart. You look at this mess that we've been in this market, and how many new traders are out of the market because of this, because it was so easy to make money in a bull market, and then everything fell apart. How many are still here? You'll notice the numbers dwindled massively for retail traders and investors. And building these skills, knowing we were trading a bull market this whole time, you could throw a dart at a heat map and make money practically. That time is over. But learning to trade bearish in a bull market is fundamental for your development as a trader, to be able to handle and adapt to this bear market. And dude, we've made some serious money trading this all the way down, and we're here to teach people how to do that. That to me is full circle. I love being able to teach people how to do that. But above all, everybody's from every different walk of life. There's some people working full-time jobs, and you can't sit around and day trade all day. But learning how to do it will really benefit your long-term, so that you can eventually not have to work anymore, and you can rely on income from trading. That's where I'm at now.
Can I ask a quick question about this? These people that were day trading during the huge bull market that we had for the last God knows how many years. I got a friend, right, okay, who was trading cryptocurrencies using a bot, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, you can make millions in a bull rally." Well, yeah, we can all make money in a bull rally. What's the big deal about trading a bot? From what I could tell, I was asking him what he did, and he just puts in like what he wants and when he wants it by. And I think what the bot does is uses brackets in some way or another, but I'm not really sure. Do you know anything about it? It's not important. I just want to sort of understand what he was doing.
So essentially, a lot of those bots are programmed to buy at support, sell at resistance, rinse, repeat. And it's essentially trying to mimic what we do, as people day trading. And
yeah, so effectively that's what we're doing, isn't it? Is the bot does the price action analysis for you, and it buys when it thinks it recognizes a low point, and when its program recognizes a high point, it sells. So it's trying to copy the human format of what we do. Why can't they get it to work in a bear market then?
Well, the thing about crypto is if you're investing directly in in the equity of crypto, the only time you're going to be able to make money is when you're going long. It's sort of like trading a penny stock. You can only trade it while it's in an uptrend. You can't short it. You can short crypto futures. I do it all the time. But you can't short actual crypto in most cases. You can, but I mean, it's risky as all hell because we've seen what crypto can do. And
I totally agree, but on the case of trading options, like you were suggesting with the meme stocks earlier to sort of cover yourself, why can you not get a bot to do that? Or is it because you're trading on margin and it's a lot more complicated?
yes and no, because the way that strategy is designed, it's designed to not use margin. Just because it's a margin account doesn't mean you have to use margin to trade that, because you can sell cash covered puts that are covered by the cash in your account, so they're not naked. That's not using margin. You're not borrowing to sell that. You can sell covered calls against a long position that you have in the company. So with that, you can get a bot to do that. It takes some complex programming, but you can get a bot to do that. But for me, it's easy enough to do where I can find the support and resistance zones, and even if I'm working a full-time job, I can just set limit orders and let it trade for me. So I can be the bot, so to speak, and I can just program my brokerage to buy and sell at different price points throughout the day. Getting a bot to do that, it might not, recognize that this is a trend and it's likely to break this support zone, or this is a trend that's likely to break that resistance zone, because it doesn't have the ability to adapt to what the chart's showing it in real time. So it doesn't look left and put pivots out like we do. I have yet to see a bot that can do that.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, we are still we are still as humans a little bit more advanced than bots when it comes to trading, and I've always sort of thought that. But my friend is like, "Oh yeah, you just need a bot to do all your trading for you." But I don't think he fully understands. That's all the bot is doing, is looking for support and resistance.
Exactly. And I just made a day trade on it.
Sig builds bots.
He does.
Rihanna. Yeah.
I just made a day trade on a weekly chart instead of a minute chart. That was funny.
Oh, that is funny.
That's okay. I already know it's going to hold back to the support zone here.
Wow.
Well, anyway, I'm about ready to break
off
of YouTube here, and I got to go and answer my dog, who is yelling at me, not just growling. He's like upset. He wants me to do something now. Let me close this trade. I don't want to walk away.
Thought I was the only one with the bossy dog that told me what to do.
Yes, he is very serious about this.
Take me to jump a fence this morning into the woods. I mean, it's like.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys later, YouTube. You guys have a wonderful day. We'll be back again tomorrow morning, and we'll be back in our Discord channel going one-on-one again right after I sign off here and I take a quick break. Looking at some exciting stuff coming out. We're going to do our after-hour show today. We're going to have more announcements and say, hey, we're going to have something big next week. So stick around, hit that like and subscribe, and dude, click on that bell. Get some notifications when we put new stuff out, because we do it every day.
Those cards and letters coming in.
That's right.
Can I ask a quick question?
Certainly.
I've been having some problems with my mic. Sorry. So going back a little bit, when you were talking about like trading one pattern, like day trading that, or I mean paper trading it, what pattern would you? Is there a particular pattern that you'd suggest starting off with? Because I really like that idea. I think that perfecting your ability to trade one pattern and then moving on to the next.
I would say start with flags, and the reason being is because they're simple. You can usually spot them pretty quick. And like here we have, let me see if I can find one that's a good example. Like Meta, we have a descending
PSHA
wedge.
Got one.
Which one?
PSHA, that penny stock I was talking about, it's flagging right now.
Oh, PSHA. Sorry.
T.
Oh,
TSHA.
TSHA. It's not that Louisiana thing. It's just my hearing shot.
That's all right. LA and I say Louisiana.
There you go.
Yes.
The Westerners say Louisiana.
I love it when people say New Orleans, and I'm like, oh, kill me now.
Nolans.
Only when it rhymes with a song.
Yeah. That's right. So looking at that one, that's a nice little, you got a bull flag set up. There's your breakout. Here's another bull flag setting up now. This is flag 2 in an expected 3 flag move. That's pretty simple. This is a good flag to look at.
Mhm.
This would be good for a paper trade right here. There's your support zone, $1.81. And
Also
if I-
might be good to trade because they dilute it in the
Yeah.
in the pre-market.
Hey, give me 10 seconds. I'll be right back because I got to get this dog out or
Sure.
he's gonna.
I'll let you. I can be done.